What's up, guys, and welcome back to my winter car. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to leave a like on the video. It would be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, all that I wanted to do was just have a rolling rivette. Not a running and driving rivette, just one that I could push around a little bit. But we didn't exactly have the best of luck with our parts boxes, and this cannot be a repeat of the previous episode. I refuse to let that happen. So this morning, before I even started recording, I did a firewood delivery job, and I sucked a... Let me rephrase that. I sucked out one sewage well, or septic tank well. We're off to a great start already. Taxi owner here. Hi, there hasn't been any drives anymore, so I'll take back the car. I wish you all the best with whatever it comes to you. Gotta be honest, kinda dodged a bullet there. I really didn't enjoy doing that job whatsoever, so he can take the car back. That doesn't bother me in the slightest. What was I saying? Oh, right, so I sucked out a septic tank sewage well thingy, and also emptied the Gifu, right, because it was a little full, so I did have to spend a little bit of money, but now that that's taken care of, when we start getting more calls for septic tank jobs, we've got an empty tank, and it'll just be a heck of a lot easier. And then there was one other thing. Oh, I also ordered 6 more boxes, and those should be arriving sometime tomorrow, maybe. But what we're gonna do in the meantime, until then, is we're gonna gather all of these duplicate parts that we have no use for. We're gonna run these over to the flea market just so we can figure out, you know, how that whole system is supposed to work. And I should also just clarify, I'm just talking about the parts that we've sort of been stockpiling here at the apartment. We'll leave everything that's over at our parents' house at our parents' house. That's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. So I'm gonna get the sorbet loaded up here real quick, and we'll go figure out how this flea market is supposed to work. We're getting another phone call. Yeah, sure, I'll do the thing. Oh, it's actually right here in town. Okay, that's easy enough. It's the house over by the starting line for the rally. I've still got a ways to go. I've only managed to get 2 boot lids loaded up into the car, so yeah, this is this is gonna take me a minute. I swear, if this episode isn't titled "They See Me Rollin'" like the previous one was supposed to be, that might be it. That might be all she wrote for this series as a whole. I genuinely might just have to throw in the dang towel on it. And it's not like I really want to do that, you know what I mean? But just like the sheer lack of progress that we have made the past, I don't know, 3 episodes is really, really discouraging. So here's to hoping that this episode is titled accordingly. This is just Fanta, by the way. I feel like I need to make that clear. Most people probably expect that I picked up drinking after playing this game. I haven't yet. I guess before we start unloading stuff, we should probably check in with the lady over here. Welcome to the flea market, where you can find great treasures. It hasn't been implemented yet. I don't know if it ever will be necessarily, but the wiki claims that we will be able to buy stuff from here at some point as well. Rent a table. Payment in finished marks, please, not in the nature. I don't know what you mean by that, but here's 150 marks. Thank you so much, and welcome again. I've just been trying to say a sentence and walk out of this building for the past 5 minutes, and I haven't been able to do that because of the terrible, terrible piano playing that is still coming from the retirement/nursing home area. What I've been trying to say is, now that we've rented our table, let's start unloading everything. Why do just sounds like that trigger me so much. I'll never understand. Okay, so where's this table at? She definitely took our money. I swear the last time we were here, she said you can pay me to rent a table out front. Or in front or something. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Rather than wasting a bunch of time like looking everywhere, I'm just gonna look this up. Oh. Okay, I'm shivering because I'm getting all sweaty. This says that it's not a table. By table, she means shelf. And it's in here. This one. The empty one. The only empty shelf. Why would you call it a table if it's not a table at all? That doesn't make any sense to me. I would have never found this had I not looked it up. So I guess we just have to start putting our parts on that shelf. It's a good thing we don't have too many items, because there's really not that much space back here. But for the larger items, I think I'm gonna put those over here. This is like a price tag. I don't know how much a 4-speed transmission should sell for. Maybe like 100 marks? That might even be too much. And then like, how long is it gonna take for this stuff to sell? And what if it doesn't sell? Or will it always sell? These are things that we're gonna have to just find out all in due time. This is the exact same thing, so just another 4-speed transmotion. We'll put a 100 mark price tag on her. Again, hopefully it sells. I'm gonna open up this door just so we can get the dome light on. Be able to see a little bit better. How am I supposed to put a seat in this thing? Maybe on top, actually. Let's try on top, like this. Okay, that did work. How much for a seat? 100 marks again, 75? Let's do 75. Because it's not exactly the sought after seat. Not like this one is. Let's bring this one in there next. Maybe we'll be able to get away with putting it on there. God, that piano, dude. Oh, I'm thinking 100 marks for the bucket. 100 should be fair. I've just got this one last chair. I'm gonna try to squeeze it into this shelf right here. Okay, that didn't work. Maybe if I just get it close enough. There it is. Okay. 75 marks on that. So feel free to let me know if I'm just super out of touch with some of these prices, but for the gear lever, gear shifter, whatever you want to call it, I put a 25 mark price tag on that. I want to say 75 on the automatic pedal box, 25 on the other gear selector. The grill, I think I put a 100 mark price tag on. The instrument panel was 25 because we have like a dozen of those now. Thankfully, I know that this is not the only way for us to get rid of duplicate stuff. Fleetari also has a trash can, like a big like rollaway sort of trash can, and I guess we can put stuff inside of that. Oh, I just left this door wide open. I guess we can put stuff inside of that, and either he gives us money for it, or somebody else in town will give us money for it. So we'll try that out at some point, but for now, it's time for us to head on back home once this thing warms up and head to bed. I woke up way earlier than I really wanted to, but it'd be like that sometimes. We've got Electric Company, 45 marks. Not too shabby, and a post-order notification. There's no telling how many boxes are actually there, though. It's just kind of one of those things that we don't know until we get there. So let's go get there. Well, the taxi guy was not fibbing. He really did just take his car and dip. So we will never see him again. We'll never get the chance to, I shouldn't even say that. We'll never have to try to do the taxi job ever again. It really wasn't, it wasn't super enjoyable, at least in my opinion. Of course, while we're here, we're also gonna fill the sorbet up with a little bit of 98 octane fuel. Only the best for this sucker, of course. Take the bill, first try, don't even think about it. One of these days, man. One of these days. Marjorie, it's so good to see you. What's the good word? Excellent. All right, how many of these do we have? There's 2. There's 3. And we will come back for the others. Thank you so much, Marjorie. We have 9,900 bucks, sorry, marks remaining, chilling in the back pocket. So we'll have to use those a little while later on. But for now, I'll get the sorbet loaded up with, well, I guess I don't have to put them like that. I'll get the sorbet loaded up with what we do have, and we'll head on back to our parents' house and crack these suckers open. You know, I had the whole weekend off, and I really tried to just decompress and not even think about my winter car whatsoever. But I am still so bothered by the fact that we're making little to no progress episode after episode after episode. But our luck is gonna turn around here, ladies and gents. Mark my words. 2 grills that we already have, a dashboard that we already have, another seat that we're not gonna use. It is a driver's seat, so I guess we could if we really needed to. A headlight assembly, another instrument panel. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Could it be the one? It doesn't seem to be the one. There's a chance that I have to remove the grill, so we'll try it again. And we have a 5.5-inch, 300-pound spring, which isn't the same as the other 2 that we already have. It's kind of a bust on that first package. This is where our luck is gonna turn around, okay? We already have this one. This is actually really sick. Yo, what the heck is that pattern? I don't know what it is, but I love it. And it's a bucket seat. We needed a driver's side bucket seat still, so that's excellent. We've got another camshaft sprockets, another front right brake assembly. Ooh, a matching spring. So these 3 are the same, and then we have one odd one out. Obviously, it would be best if we could get, you know, 4 matching springs, but we'll talk more about that later. I think we already have all the heater hoses, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they're both right there. So this one going in the scrap heap. Last one. This doesn't look too... Never mind. Never mind. Center console. We've needed this. What sort of gauges do we have here? We've got oil temp, oil pressure. That must be amps, like for the battery or something, and then a clock. Very cool. Very, very cool. We're definitely going to be chucking that bad boy on in there. Don't need this. I'm going to have to move all this stuff over to the other pile, but I'm just putting it there for the time being. Auxiliary shaft sprockets. I think we've got that. We didn't have a flywheel until just now. Looks like it has a pretty good surface on it yet. Granted, I'm fairly certain that there's no visual indicator for wear on any of the parts, so we're not ever actually going to be able to know what condition stuff is in. Another gear lever, GT gear lever. Distributor we also already have, and front exhaust pipe we already have too. But we're still missing a couple of packages, 3 more. So we have that to look forward to, which is nice. I'm going to move all this stuff now over into the larger parts pile. And we'll just use our high beams real quick to try out that headlight, get the center console in, and get that driver's seat installed. Please, please be the correct side. And it's not, of course. I'm sure you guys have probably picked up on this by now, but I'm just sort of pissed off today. I'll be blunt about it. Just really not having a good time here. But you know what they say, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on. Before we chuck the driver's seat in there, I want to try to undo these shroud things. I feel like that's the big hang up with us not being able to install the lower dash cover. So with those things now taken off, let's grab this guy again. And we'll see if we can get it into the right spot. That was the hang up the whole time. I spent 15, 20 minutes just messing around with that, trying everything I could to get it to work, and it just wasn't happening. Turns out that's all it was. But we're gonna need our screwdriver for this. So we'll get that side done. And this other side. Oh, you know what else I just noticed? This like caution tape looking pattern on the doors appears to be the same sort of pattern that's on the seat. So maybe this is a proper GT bucket seat, whereas this one is just a standard bucket seat. I guess I don't really care what the passenger side seat looks like. As long as we... Oh, before we do that, though, we've got to get those shrouds reinstalled. So I need a 8mm socket for that guy. And then the seats have one 8mm right here. Gonna use my cheat sheet again, and 3 10mm. I've really got to head inside and get a drink, but we'll worry about that as soon as we get the center console installed. So this has two 6mm? 6mm bolts, I mean. One here, and one here. That gives us a nice little surround for our shifter as well. But I don't think we can put the shifter in. I mean, we could try it. I don't think we can put the shifter in until we have the gearbox underneath the vehicle. Let's see, just for the sake of science. Yeah, that's not gonna happen yet. Okay, I gotta go get a drink, and then we will resume after. Something that I learned recently, thanks to a handful of you guys, is we're not able to install... Oh, this is super sketchy. I don't like the noises that it's making right now. We're not able to install the springs if the shock absorber is already installed. So I'm going to take both of the rear shock absorbers out, and then we'll do 2 of our 6.5-inch springs. We should just be able to chuck them back here nice and easy, as long as, like I said, we don't have these shock absorbers installed. So we'll pop that guy off. Let's grab 2 of these. I guess one at a time, right? One at a time. There we go. Okay. We can put this one on the other side and then just reinstall the shock absorbers. So I think that's another reason why I haven't been able to attach... Hello? Oh, there it is. I think that's another reason why I haven't been able to attach the like brake knuckle assembly onto the front, is because I already have a strut installed. So I'm gonna try to remove the strut, and we'll see if we couldn't get those knuckles done. Or maybe we should wait, I guess, because we still need to get another upper control arm for the driver side of the vehicle. If we could just get the rear wheels on, that would be huge, huge motivation. There it is. All right, we've got one. We'll just get these lug nuts tightened up real quick. These are a 15, if anyone was curious. And we'll get another wheel thrown on the other side. I mean, we could do one side of the front too, but it would just kind of teeter-totter. I'd rather do like both sides of the front at the same time, you know what I mean? We'll see how the rear's gonna sit once we get the jack pulled out. Okay, that has more ride height than I was expecting to see, I'll be honest. But that could be good for us, right? More ride height is probably better for rally racing. It's starting to look like a car, though. It is finally starting to look like a car. It's cheering me up a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But let's hop on back in the sorbet. I did just leave it running that entire time. It hasn't been very long, to be fair. And we will head on back to Le Gas Station to hopefully pick up those other packages. What the heck's going on over here? Dude, look at this guy. I'm sorry, these guys. That music isn't loud at all. Let's just go see Marguerite so we can grab our final packages. Hey, fancy seeing you here. Long time no see. Marguerite, this is where you put the thing on the. I'm not gonna get upset. I'm not gonna get upset. Everything's fine. Everything's going according to plan. You know what we're gonna do? I mean, odds are the last 3 boxes that we have showing up aren't gonna contain all the 26 parts that we're still missing. Unfortunately, it's quite a bit. So we're definitely gonna have to order more. I'm just gonna head back to our apartment rat meow and do exactly that.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I've got 7 more boxes ordered, some of which were rather pricey, I gotta be honest, but all of them had at least 1 or more of the 26 remaining parts that we still need.
Tervetuloa kirpparille löytämään aarteita.
You don't have any money for us? Nothing sold?
Ai että.
Great. I drank some windshield cleaning fluid through the French bread. I ate the bread too. Yeah, that checks out. Okay, I'm gonna go check in with Marguerite now. She's gotta have the rest of our packages. She's just gotta. You were kind of slow on that one. Now she's just trolling. Now she is just trolling. Okay, 690 marks. I guess I'll just wait here to see if maybe she's got 1 more for us. Nothing. Nothing. All right. We'll check back later then. Thank you so much. All that we really need to turn our Revette into a proper roller is 1 upper control arm, 1 front shock absorber, and 1 more spring. Whether that's a 5.5 inch or a 6.5 inch, I don't really care, as long as it's nothing new. That might be one of the worst boxes that we've ever opened. The only good thing that we got out of that was a head gasket. And it's probably not in very good condition, if I had to guess. A head gasket isn't exactly something that you would want to buy used unless it was, oh, and a radio, I guess that's something. Unless it's brand new and in the box still. I'm just gonna put that over here with all the other stuff that we could install, but don't really need to. Definitely don't need the steering wheels, and we definitely have no use for that now empty box. So I'm not super concerned about the engine components. I really just want to finish up the suspension and turn this thing into a roller. That's all I wanted to do today. But as far as the engine components go, a lot of this stuff we can purchase from Fleetari. And for a lot of this stuff, I think I'd rather go that route. Like the head gasket, for example. Like I said, there's no real way for us to know what condition this is in. It would probably be best if we just bought a brand spanking new one from Fleetari. So I'm gonna get the sorbet shut down for the night. We're gonna head on inside and head to bed. We'll go hit up the gas station in the morning.
The next morning.
I grabbed everything that Marguerite had for us, all 2 boxes. We should have more showing up tomorrow, assuming that we actually receive mail on Sundays. It's just more duplicate stuff, man. Just more duplicate stuff. Well, let's see. Is this a 4-speed gear shifter? All right. I'm hoping that that GT shifter is gonna do good stuff and, you know, work for us. or whatever. Upper radiator hose. That's not nothing. We still need the lower, but that's good. And then a piston. This is another thing that I would prefer to just purchase from Fleetari, but I mean, we do have 3 out of 4. All we're missing is one more, and that's one less thing that we'd have to buy from Fleetari. Which box did we open? Was it this one? Okay, guess not. Oil pan. This is good. Just gonna peek on through the wall here and toss that in the garage. We've got another rear bumper that we don't need. The parts pile just gets bigger and bigger every day. Another auxiliary shaft. I'm pretty sure we already have one of those in the garage. Another manual pedal box thing. Exhaust pipe rear. Are these the same? Why do they kind of look different? Oh, no, they're the same. Okay, it's facing the other way around. And we've got another wiper motor assembly. Actually, I should probably have some chips first and get a drink. I'm just gonna take care of our stats here for a little bit and hang out around the house, wait for some phone calls. We'll have to hit up the gas station maybe later tonight or just tomorrow. Maybe we should just do tomorrow. My soul is crushed. I thought working at Futu Phone would surely do me in, but no. Turns out trying to accumulate all these parts is really what's doing it. Remember back in My Summer Car? Remember the good old days back in My Summer Car when just all of the parts were neatly organized right here inside the garage? And we didn't have to go around and track all this stuff down. It was just staring us right in the face. All we had to do was assemble the thing. Remember that? Remember those days? I kind of miss those days right about now.
Many, many minutes later.
These are some of the most expensive packages that we've ever purchased. So if people in the Classifieds magazine were lying in their ads, I'm gonna be really, really upset. We don't need any of this stuff, but we do need this. Okay, so we've got our front springs now. I guess the 5.5, we can just hang on to that. But we finally got a camshaft as well. And as you can see, it says standard. So I think Fleetari sells like aftermarket camshafts. That's definitely not something that we're gonna pursue initially, but you know, when we're ready to make some more jam, when we actually have a running driving car, maybe then we can look into that a bit more. See what we got in box number 2. Wow, a lot more stuff that we already have, but a driver's side fender. That's good. I really just want to get the suspension done so we have a roller, but I guess that's nice. How about box number 3? Oh, and we're getting a phone call. Something big just fell underneath the map. Firewood, sure, man. Maybe another day, but you bet your sweet bippy. So, this is huge. This is huge. All we're missing now is a front strut. And we have all the suspension stuff. But we're probably going to have to make a little trip out to... what's that place called? The landfill? Right? Because if stuff falls through the map, usually it ends up over at the landfill. So whatever that thing was, it was probably just another fender, to be honest. We're definitely going to want to go get that so we can sell it later. Now we have a 4.5 inch, 270 pound spring. Timing belt. Okay. This is another thing that I'd probably rather buy from Fleetari, if I'm being honest. That way we know it's brand spanking new and isn't worn down at all. But this is something that I don't think we can get from Fleetari, and that's the exhaust manifold. So we're slowly but surely getting all the parts that we need in order to build out that little 4-banger engine. All right, box number 4. One of you guys had told me that I should probably be holding the box, and maybe I will do that for the remaining 3 that we have. That way when stuff falls out, it doesn't fall through the map. I think something else might have just done the exact same thing. We already have this. Front shock absorber, there it is. All right. So if I can get everything assembled, which I'm sure I can, we can officially title this episode, They See Me Rollin'. It's not going to be the final episode after all, ladies and gents. That is a pretty good feeling. Oh, and we've got the lower radiator hose now. I think we got the upper earlier. Perfect. Okay, so we've got both of those. This is something that we already have, so you're going in the scrap heap. And then these, I remember selecting this order because I was hoping that maybe these brake lines would be the power brake lines. But it's looking pretty similar to what we already have in the car. So I'll leave it off to the side just in case it... Ooh, just in case it is different. But it's not looking great. So for these next ones, let's just open them standing up and with it in our hands. Ooh, more brake lines. Okay, okay. Let's move that. Don't need the fuel tank for sure. We did already get an oil pan, so unfortunately that's going to go in the scrap heap. This is a 4-speed gear lever, so that's also going in the scrap heap. We have this already, and this we don't have, and we can't buy from Fleetari, a thermostat housing. I think we can get the thermostat from him, but not the housing. And then this other thing... The other brake lines kind of fell through the map a little bit too. That's going to be really difficult to pick up. Never mind. Those also look like standard brake lines. We're down to the last 2 boxes. Come on, baby. Give me something good here. I'm seeing a lot more stuff that we definitely already have installed onto the vehicle. Another driver side fender. You know what? This one's actually in better condition. So I think we'll put this one in the scrap pile. And we'll keep that one. That one's got a bunch of rust on it. Another piston. Doesn't look like it's in the best of shape. Another radiator hose. That's going to go in the scrap pile. And another center console. Looks to be the exact same thing that we already have. The final box. The very last one. Not the last one that we're ever going to purchase. I can guarantee that. Another driver's side seats. We're good on the driver's side seats now. Another radio, another steering wheel, another upper radiator hose. Oh, and the rear plates. This is big. This is big. Otherwise, we would have no way to mate the transmission to the engine. You kind of need this. And also the starter, too. I don't think the starter can be installed without that piece. The other thing here is just an alternator. So, into the scrap heap with the rest of this stuff. But I'm going to get the ratchet set out, and we'll start getting the rest of the suspension all assembled. Like I said earlier, we will have to remove this side's front strut so we can put the springs in first. And then I think we actually have to do these prior to the strut as well. But we'll figure that out as we go. Front shock absorber is out. Now we can put in our spring, and we need the front right brake assembly. There it is, dude. I was really fighting with this last time around. Feels pretty dang good to just have that pop right on in there. Okay, so that is 110 mil, 111, and 2 12s. Now we should be able to toss the shock absorber in there. Perfect. We've got 2 8s at the bottom and 112 right up here at the top. And then we just have to do pretty much the same thing on the opposite side. And if you were wondering where the 10 mil is on this front brake assembly, it's right here. It's literally just a nut on the brake line. Phone call. What do we got?
Hei, olen Simo
Every time. Every time. All right. I got the driver's side fender installed with just a bunch of 8mm. And I think it's finally time to add on our front wheels. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot express to you, I can't even begin to express to you how good it feels to just have all of the suspension stuff completely buttoned up. I really cannot even begin to explain it. I've been struggling. I have been... Okay, if this one wheel doesn't mount, though, that's going to be a problem. There it is. I've been down bad, straight up. I have been borderline depressed because of the way that things were going for us here. Not anymore, though. Not anymore. I am on cloud 9, top of the world. I'm feeling really, really dang good right about now. And we have a full set of 4 6.5-inch lifted springs, I believe. That's a lifted spring. But we've got a nice, even ride height all the way around. Of course, we're still missing a few things, like the driver's side headlight. We still don't have a bench seat in the back, but we're never going to have anyone sitting back here, so that doesn't really matter. It does matter for inspection, I'm sure, but I'm not concerned about inspection just yet. I just want to be able to move the thing around. So I guess we should probably see if we can move the thing around. E-brake is down. So let's head around front, get our hands out, and we can finally push it. And finally push it into the garage, actually. Let's not waste any more time. We might have to move this guy. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that again. We just grab it here. Okay. Nice and simple. Just gonna put it up along the shelves so it's nice and out of the way. Steering wheel probably isn't pointed straight, but I can kind of push it around once we get it in there. This is a crazy feeling. It really is a crazy, crazy feeling. Okay, yeah, we're about to fall into the inspection pit here, so let's see if we couldn't slide it over just a tad. That's too far, unfortunately. Or wait. We'll just do the same thing to the rear. Kind of, oh, wait. We're good. Everything's fine. Nothing to worry about. And just like that, we've got our chorus Revette safe and sound here inside of our parents' garage. What an adventure this has been thus far. And on that note, ladies and gents, I do think that's probably where we're going to have to wind things down at for today. But once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.